So there's four common protectors.
Instead of just protecting our body from a tiger eating us, they're protecting our identity, who we think we are.
So it feels like a personal attack.
Right.
I poke mine myself
Yeah.
often.
I poke yours too. I'm good at that too. Welcome to the Awakened Couple podcast. I'm Steph.
And I'm Lane. Here we explore how a relationship becomes a mirror for awakening, a path to deeper truth and real growth.
And today we are talking about protection patterns. And these are how we unconsciously protect ourselves from identity level beliefs, these core beliefs that are painful, and how working with someone, working with your partner consciously can help unwind some of these things and bring choice back.
Make you feel safer.
Yeah, bring choice back to how you think and behave.
Right. How about a quick recap? So in previous episodes, we've covered the reflection process. That's the thinking part of it. The nervous system.
And how that throws everything out of whack.
Yeah, as it tends to do. And belief systems, which is what our filters are made up of. Protector, so strategies for different behaviors.
Yeah, that's today. So what these are is essentially, they're just these automatic strategies that we have that, well, strategies and behaviors. And we're usually not conscious of them. We have created them early on, often in life, to, as an adaptation to our surroundings, and they're not who we are, even though they can kind of feel that way. They're just what our system learned to do to keep ourselves as safe as possible.
It's kind of something that happens behind the scenes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's unconscious.
Right. And they help us avoid those painful emotions that come around our core beliefs, things like fear of abandonment or of not being enough or lovable or feeling safe, all of these really basic human needs that so many of us, I think, have fears and deep emotional scars around.
Yeah.
And that's what these patterns are helping us.
We pick them up early in our life.
They're kind of protecting us from having to live in that much agony all the time.
Right. So there's four common protectors that we've covered before, but just to go over them again: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Yeah, and what I think is kind of cool here is, there's lots of different protector patterns, but we can break them into those four basics. And these are this is the nervous system stress response: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And that's what these protectors are doing. Instead of just protecting our body from a tiger eating us, they're protecting our identity, who we think we are.
So it feels like a personal attack.
Right. Yeah, the tiger is now trying to eat who we think we are instead. Yeah. And they're showing up to protect us from those deep-seated beliefs about ourselves that are painful and that we don't want other people to see.
Yeah, we don't want them touched.
Because if I inherently, at some deep level, don't believe I'm worthy of love, I don't want to tell everybody that out front, right? Because then that makes me feel ashamed, and I don't want to feel that.
Yeah. I poke mine myself.
Yeah.
Often.
I poke yours too. I'm good at that too. That's the reflection for you, right?
Not on purpose, but
yeah,
it just happens.
Well, that's the reflection process. And
it is.
That's if we can switch our thinking a little bit to someone is hopefully, not intentionally poking it, but if it's accidentally getting touched by your partner, that's that moment for you to go, oh, okay, wait a minute, something's being touched in me, and I have an opportunity here to look at it and figure out what's going on and maybe change it. Maybe I am worthy of love,
Yeah. So a chance to get rid of all those outdated
right
belief systems that we grew up.
In order to do that, I've got to get a little bit of separation from that protector who immediately comes up and starts running through all of my protection patterns that I have unconsciously developed, and they just come out without me even thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah. So really, I think what I really want to drive home here is that they aren't literally protecting us from being unlovable. Like, I'm not protecting myself from you telling me I'm unlovable as much as from me feeling the shame of that.
Right. It
It's,
becomes a hindrance in your
Mhm.
system.
Yeah. And that deep seated belief I have that I'm inherently unlovable, that becomes a filter so that I'm now seeing everything you do through that filter of, oh, is he trying to tell me I'm not lovable? Oh, maybe this is him trying to tell me I'm not lovable. Oh, he's trying to, and then I'm just
It
reacting to that.
distorts things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It changes your perception.
And I'm constantly protecting myself, and you're going, wait, what? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I've experienced that as well a number of times. So we've covered the feeling part of it. We've covered some of the common core beliefs. Um,
Yeah.
so,
I think what's kind of ironic about these is I think there's some part of me that believes I'm keeping myself safe from people who are trying to tell me that I'm not lovable. But in reality, well, one of my protectors is the fawn. So I go into people pleaser. And so I try to give you all of these things. Like, I just try to do everything you might want, say what you might want, give you what you might want, do what you might want. And in doing so, I'm essentially reinforcing the idea that I'm not lovable unless I do all of these things for you.
and even if someone told you that you're lovable, you wouldn't believe them.
No, I didn't for a long time when you did.
It's a bit like a catch-22.
I'm essentially reinforcing my own belief.
Right. So that's kind of a circular trap.
Yeah, yeah.
And jumping out of that circle, is that a little bit about the reflection process and moving into.
Yeah, I think that kind of highlights what's so challenging. And we've talked about it before in the talking about the reflection process is when our nervous system gets activated and we go into that protector mode, it's challenging to overcome that emotional reaction, the storm that's now going on inside of you. Your body's freaking out, your mind is just narrowed down to protect myself. That's all I'm going to do here.
Right.
Um,
And
and
the first thing you want to do is look outside yourself to blame something for that pain that you're going back through.
Mhm. Yeah, blame you for attacking who I am.
I've seen
But
that.
but yeah, a couple of times. And who I am is not an unlovable person, but that's who I think, there's this, like you said, catch 22 going on in my head. Like, this is part of who I think I am. And when you're saying something that I'm interpreting to mean to reinforce that, then I want to fight or I want to people please or, whatever it is. So,
Yeah, sounds a little like internal conflict.
mhm.
Yeah.
And even when you're doing the most amazing positive reflection of, I am inherently lovable without having to do anything for
Mhm.
it. I ran that through my filter and said, oh, I can't possibly believe that. He must be, you know, love bombing me or something.
Yeah.
It's not real.
I have to do something to
You
earn
must
that
be
love.
you must be trying to be manipulative instead of, yeah, I mean, that's the filter I'm running it through. And so I'm still reinforcing that same belief that I'm not lovable.
Yep.
But that's my protection pattern because I don't want to get hurt again. But I'm hurting myself with my own protection pattern. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So it is very difficult to break these long, long held belief systems.
Yeah. And again, because rewiring our brain requires energy, and that is actually considered kind of a danger to the system. Like, we don't naturally want to put in more energy than is absolutely necessary.
Right. But with a partner, you get energetic support.
That's true. Yeah, there's actually studies done to show that if you put someone at the bottom of a steep hill, that hill looks really steep. You put them at the bottom with someone who's going to go with them up that hill, and it looks half as steep. I mean, it's amazing.
Perception.
Our brain goes, you're here supporting me. There's energy. Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's more energy than, even though maybe nothing really changed.
Yeah. Well, I've definitely felt that from you. Your support while I'm going through healing a core belief. And you don't really need to even say anything.
Just
It's just
being there.
proximity, the support.
Yeah, I've had that too with you, where you just were with me,
Yeah.
and it
Holding space.
gave me the energy to just sit with feeling something really uncomfortable, something really hard, so that I could feel it long enough to unravel it a little bit and start seeing what was the core beliefs underneath that feeling. Sitting with that, some of that, honestly, the shame, I think, is probably the hardest one to sit with. Brene Brown talks about how shame, it has to live under a rock. You can't have shame out in the open, out in the light, sharing it with someone. It has to be done alone. And so I think that's the beauty of doing this partnered work, is feeling safe enough with someone to be able to pull that out and go, wow, this is what I'm feeling. And I've got, like you said, the energy to now sit with that and look at what's going on. Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
I believe that you have an example
Yeah, we both
to
do.
review.
We both do. I guess I get to go first.
Well, I usually go first.
True, but ladies first. So.
Yes.
So, well, as I said, my core belief is about being unworthy of love. And what it really is I'm not worthy of love unless I'm holding everything together for everybody. So when I was a child, the way I perceived my environment, it just felt emotionally unpredictable and kind of chaotic. And so my system created order and safety out of that by managing everything, managing everybody, paying attention to everyone. And so as long as I can take care of everybody's needs and keep everything together and make sure everything's running as it should be, then I will feel safe and loved. And I created protection patterns out of that. Well, I think we all create ridiculous burdens for ourselves, do we not? I mean,
we do.
So the protection patterns that I created out of that, and I'll name because there's three different ones here. Under the fawn category, people pleasing is a really big one for me. So if I meet your needs, you will love me. Fighting, so this is one where I will correct people. Lane loves this one, as everyone around me does, I'm sure. If something's wrong, it needs to be fixed, so then.
So why not fight?
So then we'll all be accepted, because I love you. So I want you to be accepted and lovable. So, that will keep you safe too. Or another fight one I like is proving. So, what I say isn't important on its own. So I'll attach it to authority, like I just did with Brene Brown, right? To make it more acceptable.
You slipped that one right past us.
And so this is one core belief that all of these different protection patterns are working with. If I meet your needs, or fixing things, my corrector, or prove myself, kind of keeping this buffer between me. And underneath that it's all the fear of, if I stop managing everything, I'm not going to be lovable. I'm not going to be needed anymore. And those protectors, they've just been trying to keep me safe from feeling the shame and the fear of not having that love. That's what they're doing. And, I think once we can realize that these beliefs and protection patterns, they're not like flaws. They're not parts of us we're trying to necessarily, kill and get rid of. They're just strategies that we learned, and trying to keep us safe from feelings of shame and fear. And they can be actually indicator lights, just like the emotional response can be an indicator light, and start remembering, I just had that fear, that underlying belief touched. So let me rewire that to be, I don't have to hold everything together to be loved. I'm lovable as I am.
Exactly as you are.
And that was the beautiful thing that you started reflecting to me right off the bat. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome. And I didn't even know I was doing it.
It was huge. All right,
okay.
your turn.
It's my turn. So from early childhood, had a core belief that I'm not safe unless I behave correctly. And looking back as a 2 year old child, I felt that it was unpredictable getting spankings for something that I did, which seemed innocuous at the time. And punishment felt unpredictable. And as a human, I was trying to create some kind of predictability, something that I could have order in my life. And what I ended up with is a belief system that, well, if I do things right, I'll be safe. And right to a 2 year old, whatever that means. Over a lifetime, I utilized all four aspects of the protection system. Mm-hmm. And I also became hypervigilant about danger. And that was causing me to see danger in a lot of places. So I was always a little stressed, sometimes a lot stressed. I would often fawn, and that was seen as over accommodating people, constantly scanning for ways that I can avoid being spanked. Also,
you did this as an adult too, even in your business.
I did. It carried through my whole life until I think fairly recently, till we worked on that core belief system, which was not a one-off. It took a while. There's many layers to it. Mm. I also did flight. I would withhold. I would walk away. I would do anything to avoid conflict. Freeze. I would go blank and shut down.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah. And sort of retreat into my own little world, actually. And the last one, fight. So I had at some point, I guess I figured it would be better to preempt the danger by fighting. And so I picked a lot of fights, and that didn't go over too well. I don't recommend it, but at the time I saw it as a way of actually defending myself. Looking back, it doesn't make any sense at all, but that's what happens when you're under stress. Things don't always appear with clarity or logic.
No, logic goes out the window once we go into a stress protection mode, yeah.
Yeah, your thinking becomes unclear. So one core belief creates an entire system of protectors and many layers to that as well.
Yeah, and we'll cycle through these.
Mm-hmm.
Like within
depending upon the situation.
Within the same conversation, even sometimes. If one's not working, you'll try the next one, yeah.
Except for fighting. Physical fighting, I kind of dropped that a long time ago after I got the crap beat out of me, but that's a story for another time. So these were my strategies. As an adult, I began to question myself, and I began to question, first of all, who am I? And second of all, I think I went to, why do I feel unsafe? And I never could find a reason. But even though I might have uncovered some of the layers, I still had that feeling because I didn't get down to the core belief.
And this is where the work that we're doing has been able to interrupt that cycle a little bit, so that we can creating a space safe enough for us to feel like we can let that protector stand down for just a minute and go, okay, wait, what if I am actually safe? Maybe there's not actually any danger going on here. Maybe just being who you are without having to do all of those things. Maybe you can be safe just as you are.
Yeah, I won't kid you. It took a lot of practice to pause in the middle of a reaction of something that is such a strong core belief.
And it's just such an automatic reaction. It just, yeah, there's like these freeways in our brains that.
With practice, with you and your understanding, I was able to pause because after so many clearing sessions, I knew what would be on the other side of clearing out a core belief that no longer served who I wanted to be.
Yeah, it's like I think I'm developing too this trust that if I just go out on that limb, that you're going to catch me,
Yep.
that I'm going to be able to catch myself, actually, that being vulnerable is not going to lead to so much pain that I won't be able to come out the other side. And in fact, it's going to actually get me to a place of freedom and joy and love and an awareness of parts of myself that are so lovable,
My freedom,
are so inherently safe.
my real noticeable freedom came from once we excavated down to the core, and I saw that what the core belief was and addressed it. The ramifications in my adult life was that background stress that I had felt all of my life melted away. I'm now much happier, more joyful. I feel so much more free.
And when the stress does kick in and the protectors do kick in, it's like it's easier to notice now because we aren't just living with this background stress with another little spike. Now it's like it feels like a big spike.
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange because it's
Right.
just our baseline has dropped so much lower.
And at the same time, the motivation to take care of it.
Yeah, and to be that vulnerable with somebody. Yeah, that motivation, it builds as we uncover more.
Yes, it does.
I do want to say one thing though because we're talking about being vulnerable with someone, and this does not mean be vulnerable with anybody. You have to have boundaries, even with each other. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, this is not working for me. I have shared as much as I feel comfortable sharing with you right now, and I don't feel safe. I need a break. Or there's other people who it's like, okay, this person can't go there.
Right. I did not take offense to it.
So yeah, make boundaries for yourself. Don't put yourself in dangerous situations.
No.
You need to know you're safe, not just walk out on a plank and hope that
Yes.
there's going to be safety out there. And you need to build some trust and build it slowly. It does come over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're also not saying that, that just seeing that core belief makes it go away. That seeing your trauma makes it go away.
No.
It doesn't.
You're not home at that point.
Yeah. I mean, you said that feeling safe, it's been a process and you're still working on it.
It had many layers.
Yeah, and it's a superhighway in the brain that needs to be slowly dismantled and rewired into something new. And I think patience and kindness with ourselves and each other is important here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So first and foremost is taking responsibility for yourself and working with working with your own protector.
Yeah, so I would say I didn't know my protector.
No.
Until we started working together.
No, me either. I had no idea I was people pleasing all the time.
Yeah.
I just got resentful that everybody else wasn't doing it for me.
I had no idea that the tiger in the grass was just a figment of my imagination. I didn't know that the stress response is more instinctual, and that's why after years of trying to reduce my stress, I made very little headway. I just didn't understand it.
Yeah. So recognizing that stress response or that strong emotion, that's,
Hmm.
that's a good first step, recognizing that, wow, I'm feeling something pretty intense here. That right there is your first clue. One of my clues is I've got to say this right now. That sense of urgency that if I don't say it right now, like that's kind of one of my patterns that I notice.
Is that
And
is that
the
the interrupting
interrupting, oh,
part?
maybe,
Okay.
which I'm sure nobody on this watching this podcast has noticed that I do. And when you start watching yourself, you notice these patterns, these repeating patterns over and over. And eventually, I think we get to the point where I've gotten to the point with some of mine that I hear that voice in my head that wants to say something. I'm like, oh no, no, I totally know that one. That is total garbage. But
I've gotten there, but not every time yet.
Lord, no, no. And it shuts down our curiosity, which I think that I can sometimes recognize in myself that like I'm listening for what to argue with now instead of actually listening. I'm not curious about what you're going to say. I'm curious about what you're going to say that I need to protect myself from.
Right. Yeah,
Totally, totally a different mindset.
it's been an issue. She's working on it.
So a belief that I adopted to combat this, and that was that I started saying, okay, wait, this is happening for me. Okay, if this is for me, what would this be showing me about myself? And it's just how
It's a rhetorical question.
it is. Well, in the moment that I'm doing it, it's not. But it's just trying to find a little bit of curiosity instead of, just getting myself out of my protection pattern for a moment.
I think curiosity is a fantastic place to address many of these
Mhm.
because it puts you in a different frame of mind.
Yeah. That and regulating our nervous system. So once we're in that emotional stress response, we do have to calm that down.
Yep.
And I'll just give a little shameless plug for awakenedcouple.com where they can get the free PDF download of Calm the
Oh,
Belief
yeah.
Down, because it talks about how to complete that stress response so that then you can actually get to that place of curiosity and start.
Yeah, this is a free PDF that you guys can download, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Another thing that I have found helpful is appreciating, just giving a little bit of a thanks to my protection patterns once I notice them, because they were trying. They were doing their best. They were just, a kid's version of how to keep me safe in a situation that felt confusing to me as a child. And yes, it got more sophisticated as I grew up, but it's still rooted in a small child who didn't know any different, who was confused. And
Is it accurate to say that we are retraining our protector?
I've been playing with the idea of giving it a new job,
Okay.
like thinking of it instead as, I don't know. I've been playing around with different ideas, but one of them was like it's the librarian for knowing all the beliefs, like it knows all of the beliefs that are running in my subconscious, and it thinks it needs to protect, but maybe all it needs to do is hit a little light, a little indicator light. Hey, Steph, did you want to keep this belief or you want to change it? Because I'm noticing something's going on here.
I mean, for most of my life, I've just given it free rein to take over,
Yeah.
and that has rarely turned out well.
No,
It kept me alive.
I've given away so much of my life just people pleasing, like
Hmm.
doing things, what I thought was doing things for other people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've definitely moved off of hypervigilance.
That was a hard one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a retraining. So working with your partner, because that's what we do.
It is what we do. It's what we do pretty well.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, I don't, well, okay, sometimes I do, but ideally, I don't point out your protector and tell you what you're doing wrong and how you need to tell that guy to stand down and come on, bring out the vulnerability, and here's what you need to see about yourself.
And I appreciate that because I've had a lifetime of people telling me how I'm doing things wrong. I'm exaggerating a little bit for effect, but
Well, it's kind of a version of not being safe in a way.
yeah.
So it's kind of a perception that might be on hypervigilant watch.
Yeah. I would say if you really feel the urge to point something out, then do it. You
Yeah,
have my permission.
unless I have that urgency sense to
Yeah.
point something out,
Okay.
and then I know that
Fair point.
my protector is now running. Well, no, really, I think the more important thing is lending that energy for you to climb the hill.
Yeah.
Just walking alongside you so that you have the energy to climb your own hill.
Mm-hmm.
I can't climb your hill for you. I don't even know where it goes. I might think I do, but
Well, yeah. I mean, this is kind of similar to heal. This is healing,
yeah,
and I firmly believe that each individual is able to heal themselves and at the same time learn a lot about themselves.
yeah.
So
What the
we,
healer
it
does
would be
is,
robbing someone of the opportunity.
yes, I think that's really powerful to empower
Yeah.
themselves.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we just fix things for people, we take their power away. And plus, we don't even know half of what's going on anyway, so we're not really fixing it the way they need it fixed. So we're kind of almost reinforcing it that they can't do anything themselves.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So really, I think reframing for myself. I mean, I do notice when oftentimes when your protectors come out, because I know you. So, but if I can reframe that you're not trying to be a jerk, it's just your protector got activated. Something really painful is going on under the surface. And if I reframe it that way, it makes me less likely to want to keep poking at it because then I'm just hurting you more. It's like, oh, clearly you're already dealing with enough pain right now. And then I need to calm my nervous system down because, I mean, 90% of the time when your protector goes off, so does mine.
Yeah.
We fit so nicely together.
We do. It's that energetic thing that, yeah, we pick up energy from each other. And
I mean, think about even our core beliefs, right? You don't feel safe. And so you've got to protect yourself, which makes you feel distant, which makes me feel like I'm not lovable, which makes me chase after you, which makes you feel not safe because someone's coming after you.
it sounds like a rabbit hole here.
Yeah, exactly. Our protectors can just like go berserk.
Yeah. Run amok.
So take that moment to pause, calm my nervous system down.
Mm-hmm.
Don't necessarily, try not to engage with your protector using my protectors, and remember not to fix, just hold that space, not, it doesn't mean I can't, sometimes I'll still say back to you some of what you said,
Mm-hmm.
or notice like you said this and you said this, are those connected somehow, but not,
And that helps also.
not tell you how they're connected because I don't know how they're connected in you.
Right. Yeah. And that's holding space,
Yeah.
which I had to do a little practice on that with you on how to hold space.
Well, I understand why, because that's you being vulnerable.
I was guarded.
You have to be vulnerable to hold space for someone. And so this might be another good place to say about the boundary issue. Like, this is not saying, holding space does not mean tolerating harm. So I can hold space for you, but if your protector is not going to stand down, I can still make a boundary that says, you know what, let's take a break. Because I don't need to sit and, I mean, I don't mean you, but I don't need to have somebody yelling at me or saying horrible things or being physically violent. None of that needs to happen. We can hold space for people in a way that is respectful of ourselves too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and provide support for evolving and digging out and healing something that is painful.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So I think we've talked about what the protector is. It's not like a problem as much as more like an outdated strategy for keeping ourselves safe.
In modern society,
Keeping our
there's
identities.
rarely a tiger in the grass.
Yeah. Yeah. It's mostly identity level stuff at this point. And it's kind of the bridge between connecting those beliefs and that nervous system response and the behaviors that come out of that. Yeah, I think awareness is the magic that all of these things we've been talking about over the last several podcasts is showing, kind of figuring out where to look, what to become aware of in ourselves, and opening up more options.
Right. And I think you really have to have awareness to be able to hit that pause button.
Yeah.
And that can take practice, you might go through a cycle or two of getting triggered and then maybe kind of telling yourself that I could have caught this earlier and not gone through all this stressful time.
Yeah, awareness is something we choose every moment. Every moment that we can remember to. Yeah.
Right.
And I think
after a while it becomes a habit.
And it's so important that that's actually going to be our next podcast.
Yes, that's right. A big one on awareness. One of my favorite subjects. Okay.
Thanks for joining us on the Awakened Couple podcast, where relationship becomes a path to awakening.
If you'd like to go deeper, visit us at awakenedcouple.com and join the early list for membership. See you next time.
Bye.